Boys, what's up? We're going to be talking about the 3 best arena teams in Cookie Run Kingdom for the month of October, so stay tuned. We're going to hop right into it now. And I can see that 89.3% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, so, maybe drop a subby sue. That would really help the channel. Anyways, guys, let's get right into the video. All right, guys, so starting off with the 3rd best arena team, it's going to be Wildberry, Caramel Arrow, Eclair, Black Pearl, and Vampire Cookie. And as far as treasures, we're going to be using Insignia, Attack Scroll, and Robes. All right, guys, as far as toppings on Wildberry, we're running full damage resist, just a focus on damage resist. On Caramel Arrow, we're going to be running full damage resist as well with a focus on damage resist and attack speed. On Eclair, we're also running full damage resist with a focus on damage resist. On Black Pearl, we're running full cooldown with a focus on damage resist and cooldown. And on Vampire, we are using full raspberries with a focus on damage resist and attack. Now, guys, I would say this is probably the worst of the 3 teams. Not to say this team's bad. This team is amazing. You can go all the way to Masters with this team. All these teams I'm going to show you here today will get you to Masters. If you play it right, you can get Masters 1, maybe even Grandmasters, depending on your toppings and labs and stuff like that. But the problem where this team comes is there's no healing with this team other than Insignia, which your cookie has to die for it to activate. And that is the biggest problem with this team. So if someone runs something like a herb, they can remove debuffs, or a monocle, this team might die. So this team just has a lot of counters to it, but this team is still very, very powerful, and I think if you want to push the Masters, you can definitely use this team to push you there. All right, guys, we're going to roll into a match here just to show you how the team kind of works here. This is going to be against a espresso comp. No, Black Pearl espresso, dark chocolate in the front. So basically like another comp, basically this comp, except a lot different. Anyways, guys, yeah, so as you can see, this team doesn't get any healing, but it has really high burst damage, so you can demolish the enemy team if they're not using anything to prevent debuffs and anything like that. It's really insane, and this team can clap cheeks like that. Just keep in mind, guys, Monocle can screw this team over, and also herb comps can screw this team over too. Alright, guys, number 2 on the list here is going to be this team right here. It's going to be using Wildberry, Caviar, Eclair, Black Pearl, and it's going to be using Espresso. And as far as treasures, we're going to be running Cooldown Clock, Attack Scroll, and Revive Feather. And guys, this team is really good against the Wildberry Fin comps, usually with like the Black Pearl and another DPS cookie in the back, like Espresso or Captain Caviar or Caramel Arrow. This team is a pretty good counter to those teams. Do keep in mind, this team can be countered by that burst comp very, very well, but this is mainly meant to fight the best team, which I think to be the comp we're going to talk about next. But let's go ahead and talk about the toppings for this team here. So on Wildberry, we're going to be running full damage resist with 48.9, just a full focus on damage resist. On Captain Caviar Cookie, we're running full raspberry with a focus in damage resist and cooldown. Trying to get the cooldown as high as you can because you want to be hitting the abilities as fast as possible. Also, you kind of want him to die first, so his ability pops off again, kind of like a machine gun where he shoots missiles, dies, shoots missiles again, and wipes the whole team out in one burst. Eclair is going to be using full almonds with a focus on damage resist and try to get cooldown if you can. Black Pearl Cookie is going to be using full swifts with a focus on damage resist and cooldown. And Cream Unicorn is going to be using full crit jellies with a focus on damage resist and attack speed. All right, guys, we're going to hop into a match here. This is the team that is supposed to counter this team that I'm using right now, so I can just show you guys how it runs against this team. Since I couldn't find any Wildberry Fin teams at this time, maybe we can in a couple of refreshes, but I just couldn't find any in like 2 refreshes. So we're going to be doing this right here, show you how this team goes up against the very burst damagey team. Actually, we already killed the Vampire, which is really good. That's where a lot of the DPS comes from, is Vamp just sniping out your Cream Unicorn in the back. Usually when you have a Vamp on the other team, you want to run full Almonds to protect against that. But in this case, I think we're going to win the match here, actually. Hey, yeah, we won the match. I'm very surprised. Well, we didn't win the match. Yeah, guys, we took a fat L there, as you can see there. That Insignia really did a number on us. Anyways, guys, we're going to talk about the last and final team on this list here, which is my favorite team. All right, guys, and my favorite team is going to be Finn, Purple Yam, Black Pearl, Captain Caviar, and Unicorn Cookie. As far as treasures go, we're using Monocle, Attack Scroll, and Cooldown Clock. Now, guys, this team is pretty good against the team the burst damage comp sometimes, because it is running this monocle here, which can screw the other team over. Also, this team can be good against the other team too. It just depends on the situation. Usually, if you're fighting the other team I showed you, if they're running any Eclair, you want to run monocle. If they're not running any Eclair, you just run Revive Feather, and that seems to work better. But let's talk about the toppings now. As far far as toppings, Purple Yam is running full almonds with a focus on damage resist, and try to get as much cooldown as possible. My toppings are just copium, so we only have 2.3% cooldown. On Finn, we are running full Swift chocolates with a focus on damage resist and cooldown. You want to also make sure not to go over 17% cooldown on Finn because it can mess up your timings a little bit. On Captain Caviar, again, we are running full raspberries with a focus in damage resist and cooldown. This is so he gets the Finn buff instead of Black Pearl. On Black Pearl, as you see, it's a trend here. Full cooldown with a focus on damage resist and cooldown. And finally, on Cream Unicorn, we are rocking full crit jellies with a focus on damage resist and attack speed. Now, I will say for Cream Unicorn, I would swap in between your crit jellies and also your solid almonds. Just because some team comps that have vampire, solid almond can be better so they don't get sniped out of the back. Alright guys, hopping into our final match here against someone in Crystal 2. Keep my arena just reset, so Crystal 2 is like M1 kind of. So keep that in mind in our matches here and testing here. We are using this team with Feather against this team. Now Monocle is a bit better with this team here because it can counteract that Eclair absolute pop-off ability that destroys your whole team. So I think this is a pretty fair and even match here as far as like levels and everything goes. So I think we should win this. Yo, Purple Yam got the revive, which is not supposed to happen. Not too sure why Purple Yamu Jamu got the revive there because he's really not supposed to get it. Now we're going to go in again with Pearl yet again. Oh, Purple Yam is absolutely B-ussin' right now. Okay, our Pearl's almost dead, but we're going to go back under the sea. Oh, and now look. Now it's just a 1v1 between our Pearl and their Unicorn. This should be an absolute win, guys. We absolutely destroyed that team. We didn't barely win or anything. Yeah, guys. Yeah. We won that match real easy like there, boys. But I will say, guys, I do have some change of opinions on a team. And that opinion change is going to be on this team right here. This team does do better than I actually thought it would do. And it did better than I did in my previous testing today anyways. So maybe I'd put this team at number 2 on the list here, right above the second team we showed with just the Wildberry in the front. So guys, yeah, that's my tier list right now. That's my tier list, my guide to the best 3 arena teams right now as of October 2022. Anyways, guys, if you like the video, you know, smash a like button. If you dislike, maybe dislike. I don't really care, honestly. But I do want you to subscribe and maybe join the Discord too, and maybe check us out on twitch.tv/YouTube-can't-see-me if you get a chance. You could maybe see the Rack Lord live in concert here. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one later. Bye-bye.